tolerance and respecting rule of law. But instead, he has chosen a path of spreading anarchy, chaos, and destruction in the country only to protect himself from accountability. Mr. Imran Khan, on a number of occasions, said that if ever there was a case against him, he will voluntarily present himself before the authorities for investigation. And as you know, that this case in which he has been arrested by NAB is a case of graft, a case of embezzlement, a case of corruption of 160 million pounds, which is 60 billion Pakistani rupees. 160 million pound, which was confiscated by UK crime agency on charges of money laundering from a Pakistani real estate tycoon. Mr. Imran Khan, under a fraudulent deal, under a deal of self-benefit, he, instead of depositing that 160 million pounds in national exchequer, he allowed that amount to be deposited in the state bank account to settle the dues of the same person who was fined 160 million rupees. So in fact, 160 million pounds which were confiscated from this person for money laundering in UK, Imran Khan returned that confiscated money back to him so that he could settle his account with Supreme Court. Now this is worst kind of corruption, and he did this to gain personal benefits. Everyone knows that he created a trust with his and his spouse's name as owners and got benefit of huge chunk of land, and there were also audio recordings which talked of some jewelry, gifts of jewelry that Mr. Imran Khan and his wife got from the same person. Now this is not a small case. It is 60 billion rupees of Pakistani taxpayers' money which should have been deposited in the national account. Mr. Imran Khan, through a malified action, allowed that money to be paid back to the same person who was found guilty of money laundering for his own personal benefit. So now my question is, if such a case happens in Western country or any country, whether it is UK or USA, what would the law do? If there is a case where any prime minister or head of government is found to be indulging in such practice, won't anti-corruption agency or crime agency in that country investigate that case? Won't they proceed to arrest that person if he is not cooperating with the investigation agencies? You saw that before, whenever he was summoned to the court, he would appear in courts at his own leisure. As and when he deemed fit, he will appear before court, and that too only when court would give him a final warning. But before that, he even defied the orders of the courts, and not only did not appear before courts, but he even went to the extent of threatening a lady judge. When security agencies went to his home to serve that summon of appearance before court, there was attack on the security agencies. Petrol bombs were thrown. Dozens of policemen were injured, seriously injured. Stones were thrown. There were firearms. There were terrorists present, known terrorists there. So, and everyone saw those images, how PTI supporters protected his house and they were attacking the law enforcement agencies who had gone to just serve notice from the court. Similarly, what happened in judicial complex in Islamabad, this is before each one of you. Not only that he attacked the judicial complex, we have a history. Imran Khan had earlier attacked Pakistan television building, the place where we are sitting. In 2014, this place was ransacked. Not only he ransacked Pakistan television compound or offices, he also ransacked Parliament. He attacked the Parliament. Now, will United States forgive those who attacked Capitol or at the behest of President Trump? No. They are all facing charges. And I think it was a big mistake at that time by the government to not arrest him for attacking the Parliament, because Parliament is very sacrosanct. But in order to not create more hostility, we showed a lot of magnanimity. But Imran Khan misunderstood or took advantage of that gracious approach of the government to maintain political harmony in the country. And he has gone further, and he has not only attacked, yesterday his followers have attacked state properties, security institutions' properties, but he has even gone to the extent of attacking public transport and, worst of all, burning schools. Now, who has been burning schools in Pakistan? It has been the extremists, and now the credit goes to PTI, who have burned schools also in this country. Now, how can any society tolerate this kind of behavior, this kind of lawlessness, this kind of anarchy? So the law has to take its course, and those who have indulged in these kinds of activities will be taken to task. But I want to assure you that there is no political vendetta, there is no political victimization in any of the actions that have been taken by NAB. It is an independent authority. NAB has arrested Mr. Imran Khan under a lawful legal warrant, which has been cleared by the High Court and declared to be legal. Now, Imran Khan, who was arresting all the opposition leaders during his term as Prime Minister, I went through a punishment in a death sentence for more than 2 months and was later on cleared by the High Court that it was a baseless case. But we never resorted to such tactics. Mr. Nawaz Sharif was arrested, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif was arrested, all of our frontline leaders were arrested. But did PMLN ever resort to such kind of violence? No. Has People's Party or other parties resorted to such kind of violence? No. I mean, no other party has ever shown this kind of behavior that PTI supporters and Mr. Imran Khan has shown, which clearly shows that he is on a path of creating chaos in the society. He was ousted not through any conspiracy, but for the first time in the history of the country, a Prime Minister was removed through a constitutional process of no confidence. His own allies left him. There was no PTI dissident who voted in no confidence motion. It was just his own allies who left him after his failures, after his poor conduct, and they felt very unhappy with the government and they left him. As simple as that. And majority came on the opposition side. It was a constitutional vote of no confidence, and then he was ousted. Instead of accepting that decision in a sportsman manner, he said it's either my way or highway. Either country will accept me as Prime Minister or I will not allow this country to be run. He went to the extent of trying to sabotage the IMF agreement. He went to the extent of sabotaging countries' relief efforts after the climate disaster that hit us. His party went to the extent of calling international agencies not to help the government in the wake of that climate disaster. So, unfortunately, the behavior that PTI has been demonstrating has been very unethical, undemocratic, and purely fascist. And we are reminded how in history demagogues have caused destruction to their societies. But Pakistan will not be allowed to become hostage to such politics of demagoguery or fascism. We are a democratic country. If Imran Khan feels that he has been unfairly arrested, he can prove his innocence before the court of law, just as we did. I proved my innocence before court of law. All the leaders from opposition, they contested their cases before courts. That is the democratic way. But this is no way that you start inciting people for violence, you cause destruction in the country, you cause loss to the economy, and you try to bring bad image to the country internationally. So I just wanted to clarify this, that Mr. Imran Khan does not face any political vendetta, he does not face any political victimization. He faces the accountability for his own misdeeds of corruption in which he indulged. And we are witness, because in cabinet secretary testified that this agreement which they presented to UK authorities to transfer the money instead of Government of Pakistan account to Supreme Court account to settle private persons' fine, this agreement was never shown to the cabinet meeting. Cabinet secretary said the meeting had concluded and Mr. Imran Khan just shared an sealed envelope that this is an important agreement and cabinet should approve it. And when some of the cabinet ministers questioned that at least we should be shown, they were snubbed. So this is how, in a very opaque manner, in a very non-transparent manner, he carried out this fraud, embezzlement, graft, and he's not willing to be accountable, held accountable, something which he has been demanding for everyone in this country. But it seems that Mr. Khan believes in accountability of 220 million Pakistanis, but not for himself, not for his party. This is not democracy, this is not rule of law, this is fascism. Thank you.
Sir, is your government is considering PTI following yesterday's Ahsan attacks, number one. Number two, is your government going to take